Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. I am sharing another layout that I did for the Not Secret Kit Club's May scrap party, and this one is a grab 5 challenge, and the 5 items that we were to use were chipboard, paper scrap, sequins, punches, and mist or gold. So you're going to see me using some layers here, and those are all from my scrap bin. And then let's see here, I do have some mist that I'm using. I don't think I actually use any gold on this, but I use other colors of mist. And then of course I'll be using the other 3 items, the paper, the chipboard, sequins, and some punches. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. That silver, blue, and wood grain paper is from my scrap bin, and that is the main reason I did not use gold, because it has a lot of silver on it and it's super shiny, so I didn't really want to clash the gold and the silver. I don't mind doing that on occasion, but in this case I really just wanted to stick with the silver. And I believe I'm using a sketch for this. I'll have to see if I can pull that up and have the sketch in the stills at the end. So I'm layering up my papers, and I will be going through my bins of embellishments and pulling out some things to use with this. These 2 pictures are of our male dog. He is now almost 13 years old. He'll be 13 in August, but this was just shortly after we got him. I think he's actually we got him early because he came from a litter that was born in Idaho to my aunt and uncle's dog, and they happened to be visiting. So the puppies were about 6 to 7 weeks old. So I think he's about 7 weeks in this picture. So he is my son's dog. His name is Dodger, and my son named him Dodger when we got him. And my son was my son's 20 now, so if the dog is 13, he was only like 7 years old when we got him. And you can see there's more scraps, and there was definitely a piece pulled out of that green polka dotted paper there. But it's getting covered up with multiple layers. And this is a great way to use up your scraps, is just to layer things up, because it doesn't matter if there's stuff cut out of them or punched out of them. You can still use the layers. You can even just use strips of paper to make it look like layers. So it works out perfectly. Now the title of this layout is going to be Adventure Begins, and it definitely has been an adventure having this dog. We actually got 2 dogs at the same time. We have his sister as well, and her name is Sasha. She's my daughter's dog, and they since they're from the same litter, it took them a really long time to grow up. I'm not even sure that they've actually grown up now. They still think they're puppies, but they feed off of each other's energy, and so it's just been a huge adventure. This dog, both of the dogs are from the same litter, and they are Border Collie, Queensland Heeler, and Australian Shepherd mix. And this dog is an escape artist. We could not figure out how he was escaping for quite a while, and it finally turned out that he was climbing some shelving in the backyard and getting on the roof of the garage, which the way our house is set up, the garage is not attached to the house. So he would get on the roof of the garage, climb over the roof and down out the front, and he'd take off. We live in the county in our city, but we're pretty close to a hillside, and he would take off up the hillside, and the female dog could not quite keep up with him, so she would sit in the backyard and bark and bark and bark like a little tattletale until we came out and figured out that he was not in the yard anymore. So anyway, we resolved that issue, but he still continues to get out. Anytime he can find a way to get out, he will take a full advantage and go for a run for a couple hours up the mountainside. And sometimes if we accidentally leave the gate open, the female goes with him. But so far they've always come back, and we've gone looking for them. We're not able to find them sometimes, but it's definitely been an adventure. So that is why I titled this layout Adventure Begins. So here we go with some more layering, and those strips that I've used, those were called for in the sketch, and then I think I just used a corner punch, I'm sorry, not a quarter punch, probably a square punch or something like that to cut the fishtail ends on them. You can do that easily with scissors. And the two punches you see there on the right hand side, those are both from Stampin' Up, and they are 2-inch tag punches. So any 2-inch strip of paper that you have, you can slide in there and cut a little tag top. One of them is more rounded and scallopy, and the other one is got more straight edges on it, or not straight edges, just a big round edge. It's not as frilly, I guess is a good word for it. So anyway, I'm trying to make sure that I didn't put adhesive down too or up too far in behind the where those tags are going to slide in, because I want to make sure that they can slide in and out. And I will probably be telling the story of his escape artistry on those tags. So I wanted to make sure that I could pull them out easily. There's not really a reason that the journaling is hidden, except for that's what the sketch called for. But it's not hidden for any privacy reasons. Now you just saw me go ahead and add a little wet glue to the ends of that baker's twine so that it does not unravel. And I went ahead and cut a couple of pieces to go on the top of those tags just to add interest, because I am using solid cardstock, which I don't use solid cardstock very often, but I wanted to make sure that the writing was legible and easily seen when I do go ahead and journal on those tags. So I use the solid cardstock because of that. And those tag punches are definitely wonderful. You can make them as long as you want or as short as you want, but the only caveat is they can only be about 2 inches wide. So the word adventure is on chipboard, and there is a little round, well, it's a little flower up in the upper right hand corner that is also on chipboard. So that takes care of the chipboard piece of the challenge. I've used up some paper scraps, so that takes care of that challenge. You'll see I'll add some mist towards the end, and the sequins will go on towards the end. And then our last item was a punch, and that is what I used to make my tags. So I'm more than halfway done here, and I'm using these thickers. These are kind of, they're not really red, and they're not exactly pink. They're kind of somewhere in between. Maybe the best way to describe them would be watermelon, and they match the background pretty well. They are big pink polka dots on there, but they're more of a watermelon-y polka dot. That's my little box of sequins. I have several in this box, and then I have a second box at my mom's house, which is where I scrapbook often as well. But these little bags came in really handy. I just bought them at Expo, and they have several different sizes in them, and I like that there's a lot of different colors and options in each little baggie. So I'm adhering those with crystal lacquer by Sakura, and that's in my fine line applicator. I love that bottle. Works wonderful, but you can't leave it open too long. Actually, leaving it open as long as I am right there is really taking a chance that it's going to clog up, but I do have it on its side, so hopefully that eliminates the actual clogging of it. It dries super fast. It dries clear but glossy. You can use it on top of embellishments to make like a clear coat or like an epoxy type finish over the top. It's a lot like Glossy Accents, and I highly recommend it. I've used it for years. It's never had a problem. And if you do clog your applicator, if you just go run it under warm water, take the top off, run it under warm water, and it cleans out really easily. We are coming up on the close-ups, so stick around for that. If you have enjoyed this video, if you'd go ahead and hit that thumbs up down below, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to. And I will see you next time. Have a great day, and there we go with the color shine. We'll see those colors in the close-ups a little bit better. And if you really need to know what they are, leave me a message down below.